What's up, dweebs, and welcome to this week's episode of Mr. Satan's Dweebcast. I'm your host, Mr. Satan, and this week I have Crush Captain. He is a tattoo artist you can follow on Instagram at Crush Captain Tattoo. He is one of, if not the most vivid anime tattoo artist I think I have come across, and I follow a lot of anime tattoo artists. I have some anime tattoos, and to get tattooed by him is a dream, but to have him on this podcast is also a dream, and it's like he was an ideal guest I had when I thought of what I wanted to do with this podcast. I wanted people from all different walks of life that express their love for anime in their own way, and his love for anime is definitely apparent in his tattoo styling and just the work and attention to detail that he puts into his tattoos. You'll see a lot of his work come up for reference whenever we're talking about it in this episode, but definitely check out his Instagram in the description, linked below. Other than that, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe if you like this video. If you don't, you're probably not even watching this far. But if you do, make sure you do that and enjoy this week's episode because I really enjoyed having him on. What's up, dweebs? I'm here with Captain Crush Captain Tattoo on Instagram. And do you have Twitter? I don't really mess with Twitter.
No, I don't have Twitter.
No, yeah.
I have a Twitter, I just don't use it.
Yeah, same, man. I made one, but it's your stuff's so much more visual, man. So he is a tattoo artist that I've been following on Instagram forever, man. But you're like I started following like Naruto Tattoo when I got heavily into Naruto like 2 years ago, and like that hashtag, and then I found your work just through that hashtag, and your is like the go-to. Like I send like every one of your posts goes to like 3 to 4 of my friends and shit, man. Like we all like geek out about your work. It is the shit, man.
Well,
it is awesome.
Man. Thank you.
It's so cool. Like when I made this podcast, man, like having you as a guest was like a goal because like seeing like people appreciate anime in the different ways, like you have to see like all the different types of anime fans, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I see all kinds of people, and I feel like, including myself, I'm not like your average weeb. Like the average weeb doesn't like really work out. They're not really they don't really talk that ghetto. I feel like I talk very ghetto, and I don't
From
know,
that
man.
South Florida.
I just feel like I'm very different. Like when I try to approach weebs, and so that we can be like weeb friends, they're kind of like, at first, like, is this guy like for real or
Yeah, so, man. I saw your all your posts like I think yesterday where you're like posting a bunch of old posts, and I was like, oh, I wouldn't have expected that's like seeing who you were in high school. I was like, oh no, okay, it makes a little more sense now. Like, seeing who you, the kind of like paint a picture, you know what I mean? But then also, so I saw that you were tagging yesterday and last night. Yeah. I had a friend of mine get me like when I started living in the St. Louis a few years ago. I like had a friend show me all the different artists. Like I never like paid attention to like the individual tags before, and then it became every time I'm driving around, it's just like a seek and find, trying to find my favorite like tags and see where they are, and like it's so awesome, man. Do you have like a specific tag that you stick to?
Yeah, I just don't really say it. Like I don't really announce it. I'll write some shit, whatever, but I won't say it just for, my own proprietary reasons.
Yeah. That makes
it's there for anybody to see, like whoever can read it, whoever can understand it, it's there. I don't claim that it's me. I just, it is what it is. I'm there taking a video, and out of nowhere, some graffiti just pops up, and I just happened to be there. But maybe it was me. Maybe it wasn't me. I'm not saying it was,
Right. I love that you even like incorporated that, like it's like your style, but like I didn't know that you were gonna be able to make it in graffiti as well. Like just to see like the way you make the like electric like red like pop the way it does is the same way.
My boy Tall was the one who came up with that idea. He's like, bro, you should do like that red lightning shit that you do on tattoos. And I'm like, what? That's not a bad idea.
Dude, but like I've watched your shit. Like you're not like tagging every day, at least you're not posting every day, but like to be able to like just like on the spot be like, yeah, I think I can do that, basically. Like
Yeah.
That was just that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, man, it's
That's the
been
cool
like
part
2
about
years
tagging because
too
it's all in the moment.
since we painted anything. We used to paint a lot more, like five nights a week we would paint, and you know, we kind of like dropped out of that, and you know, I just been so focused on tattooing the last 2 years, like more than any other time in my career. These last 2 years have been uh, like that huge leap that took me from, I feel like, being in a very mediocre position to being at the caliber that I am now. Not that I can't go any higher, because I definitely fucking can. There's room to learn every single day, but I think it was definitely a huge leap from where I was 2 years ago to where I am now, you know, artistically.
Right. Yeah, no, dude, yours and like even like I watch your like I don't know what's gonna be next, like what you make better next. Like I can't because I don't because to me they're all
I don't
great,
know
right?
either.
And then
I don't know either.
and then I see it and I'm like lately like your backgrounds have been so like more like detailed and like full like I feel like been like fitting like the whole arm like a lot more lately. You know what I'm
Sure,
saying?
yeah.
Like
Thanks.
yeah, I feel like you've done so much more attention to the backgrounds lately and like all of that and it keeps getting better, man. It's awesome. What is
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
let's go back, man. Where did you start with anime? Did you watch anything as a kid growing up?
So yeah, like the with the whole anime thing, I started watching. So in Cuba, I remember in Cuba as a little kid, we only got to watch like one cartoon a day. Like it was literally one cartoon a day, and sometimes it wouldn't be like the same cartoon. Like for example, I remember I would watch He-Man, and then it would be one episode of He-Man, and I would watch He-Man again 2 weeks after that, because then they had to play Captain Planet, the Zodiac Warriors, and then some other like Cuban cartoons and shit. So it was really tough to kind of like get into any of that when I was a kid. But when I finally came to the United States around like 7 years old, I started watching Dragon Ball Z just randomly out of nowhere. I don't know what got me into it or how I got started. I just remember watching it and continuing to watch it one day, and I kind of just fell in love with it. And you know, I started like tracing the Dragon Ball Z characters and the Pokemon and all that stuff. So yeah.
So is that where you really started drawing? Like
No,
you
I
got
wouldn't say that's
into
where I
like
started
art, or did
drawing.
you
I
do
think
that
that was
before?
just I think I almost always had like a thing for like wanting to draw. I just never sat down and was like, "All right, I'm going to learn how to draw." You know, like even now I'm still
Those
like,
seemed
"Fuck,
like
I need to get better
achievable
at
things
drawing."
that you could. Right, right. Like Pokemon, like I remember I had like a like I suck ass at drawing, bro. That's one like I'm a photographer, but I can't draw. I do like tons of shit, but I can't. Like because I have tattoos and shit, man. I wish I could draw. I wish I could be into that lane. I wish that was my thing, but like it doesn't project the way it does for you guys. But the way uh I used to have this Pokemon like tracing book. You know what I'm saying? And it would teach you how to
Yeah.
draw Pokemon like lines by lines.
Yeah, yeah.
And I could just like so I'm just saying I see like it was like an achievable like you looked at it as like, "Oh, I could draw this. This seems like something I could draw." Like, you know, like with Pokemon or Dragon Ball. But that's crazy. I didn't know that you didn't grow up in America initially. That's so that
No.
definitely had a delay on watching any form of American
Yeah. And you
cartoons.
know
Yeah.
what's crazy too? I remember getting getting laughed at when I was in school. Like, and I mean, I'm pretty sure like every weeb can relate to this. Like, you would get made fun of for sure if you were into anime as a kid in school.
Yeah, man.
Like,
Yeah.
even now, like I remember, you know, like my little brother, like he has friends that like they're into anime, and like I'm pretty sure he has other friends that are not into anime, and like I'm pretty sure like he's mentioned it to somebody. They're like, "Oh, my brother does anime tattoos," and they're probably like, "Well, your brother's a fucking nerd," you know. So
Right,
it's just
right.
like I
But
think
like,
the
bro,
times
you're
like
the
that are gonna
furthest.
change, you know.
Right. Dude, exactly. I have little brothers that live in Seattle, right? And they're like 9 and 13 and they like I keep trying to show them anime and like cuz I want to instill like good morals on them. I feel like it would be great cuz I ain't grow up with anime. I ain't get into
Yeah,
anime until later in life. And I want to show them like and like they have such a stigma towards it. It's they're like oh, anime and they'd rather like play Fortnite and watch Mr. Beast on YouTube, and I'm like,
The way I
okay.
feel lately, like trying to get people to watch anime, I like that people that don't know anything about anime and like they're just like not open to it. I feel like I'm a sort of like a Jehovah's Witness coming up to your door to knock and be like, hey,
I'd like
have
to
you heard
speak
of
to you
anime?
about the.
You know what I mean?
Have
It's
you
kind of like
heard
I
of
feel
the
like
Will of
people find it a
Fire?
nuisance. Not that it's the same thing, because I'm pretty sure it's like 100 gazillion times different, but still, it's like people are so turned off when you try to like introduce them into anime, and it's like you don't know
If
what the
it,
fuck you're missing. It's like
right.
it's like that one meme that says it's that one song that you skip every time and then you finally heard it and now it's your favorite song.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know?
Oh, I have a problem with like ignoring mainstream artists, and then once they like fall off, and then I like really start to like them, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't like that, and everyone's like, we liked that like a few years ago, but I'm like, yeah, but
Right.
that whole album, oh.
Right. Yep.
So, what animes did you evolve from there? Did you immediately were you all about it in high school, or did you like later in life did you start to really
No,
like
I kind
search
of
for?
I kind of like fell off of the whole anime thing when I was in middle school. I stopped at Naruto. So I remember getting into Naruto, not getting into Shippuden, and then all of high school didn't watch any anime at all. Like all the
Right.
way, I think I started like watching anime again when I was like 20, 23. So all the way from like I think it was 14. No, not even less than that. Like 13 in middle school all the way to 23. So that's 10 years no anime. Like
Right,
I
right.
would still talk about Dragon Ball Z and shit like that, but like I wouldn't draw, I wouldn't do shit, just no anime, nothing. Like completely different
Wow.
person. And then age 23, I decided to start watching it again. I started with Black Clover when that first came out. And
Dude,
that kind of
yes.
slowly transition got me into watching other anime, you know?
Really, Black Clover's what brought you back? Because I really think Black Clover is one of my favorite ones that's
Yeah.
airing currently to this day.
Yeah,
I
Black
think Black
Clover's the one that
Clover.
kind of like reminded me, like, yo, anime is dope as fuck, man.
Dude, you need to do. I need to see. I want to see you do some Black Clover tattoos. I feel like you don't have that many.
No,
Oh,
I
that
have like one, and I have a Merlin scheduled for I think it's this month, if not January. But I know I have a Merlin coming up at some point,
nice,
so that's
nice.
gonna be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the few that I prefer a dub. Like I'll watch sub, but I'll watch it. I prefer to watch dubbed anime, and but Black Clover is one of the ones I like have to watch week by week. So I watch that one subbed every week at the
Yeah.
gym.
I really got
That's
into like Doctor Stone now. Doctor Stone's pretty fucking
yeah,
dope.
I saw you watching that last night, man. Dude, that's I haven't watched this week's episode. That one is me and my girl watch that one every week. That one is my shit. That is such a
Yeah,
different it's such a different like genre of anime almost. Like it
it
doesn't
is.
even it's not relatable, but it's so
It's
I don't know.
different.
It's really cool, man. It's really cool. I'm really excited to see where it goes because I don't read any of the manga. I'm not sure if there is manga that far ahead for it, but
Yeah.
uh, so do you read any manga?
No, not anymore. I used to as a kid, but it was only really just like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto.
Right, just to keep
Like
up with.
super basic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a few Shonen Jump like magazines as a kid, but never really read it. But I do watch this YouTuber that reads Dragon Ball Super manga like as it comes out. He does like a cool like putting up the images and reading along with it and does not that annoying of voices and it's entertaining to more than reading it to me if you ever want to check that out, man.
Sure.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like an audiobook, but for manga.
Yeah, yeah, and you can like you don't even have to be looking at it the whole time. I would like to do it while I like doing dishes. I set my phone there and I look at it for reference. It's cool because the Dragon Ball Super manga, the next chapter of Dragon Ball Super, I guarantee you're gonna be tattooing. Have you heard of this villain Moro yet? Because he is a badass man,
Nope.
dude. He's like a giant billy thing that's like got magic like Bippity and Boppity, but he's like a giant goat with horns and shit, and he's like ripped.
No,
Yeah,
dude,
new
I know
villain in
nothing
Dragon
about
Ball.
the new Dragon Ball Z stuff coming out. I just know that supposedly Vegeta is supposed to train where Goku in that one planet where Goku trained, where he learned the instant transmission.
Yeah, Planet
So
Yardrat. That's like the chapter. Suppose I think actually, like just this past week, the newest chapter came out, and we might find out more about Vegeta's training there because, like Vegeta, just being the Dragon Ball fan that you are, you know, Vegeta's not gonna go learn the same move that
no, of
Kakarot
course not.
did.
No,
He's
he's
not
gonna end
gonna.
up. And also, I think he's probably. I think they did mention. I don't know if it was a theory of it, if it's actually set in stone, but he's supposed to learn some sort of move that helps him like duplicate.
Okay, yeah, I just saw something about that. Maybe scrolling through Instagram or
So what?
something
He's gonna
today. It
learn
was like,
fucking Shadow Clone
yeah, I
Jutsu.
saw him. Yeah, that's exactly what I saw. I was like, oh, yeah, no, that's better, I guess. Yep. That's
Yeah.
cool. I'll have a bunch of Vegetas and then can they fuse? Like what is the possibilities with that, you know?
Yeah,
Like
like are they hollow? Do they attack? Like how strong are they? Are they
uh,
like Naruto clones strong or like like what's
right,
going on?
do they just poof and disappear after like one hit, like
Right,
one fatal
exactly.
blow?
Like boom, kick in the face. Poof.
Right.
That's hopefully it's not like that.
I don't think, yeah, I don't think Dragon Ball would do something that cheesy because they already ride the line of cheesy pretty hard, you know.
Yeah.
It's weird
Yeah, they
how
definitely do.
like because Dragon Ball was like one of my main ones too, and it's weird how once you further get into anime, it's not that Dragon Ball loses its like luster. It's just that it's not as like impactful. You don't feel as hard in Dragon Ball as you do for a lot of the others, in my opinion.
Right.
I don't
No,
know.
I
Do you?
completely agree. I try to tell people that shit all the time, Like there's people that are like, "Man, like I want to get into Dragon Ball Z." I'm like, "Dude, if you're in your 20s and you're an adult and you're not a weeb already, you probably are
Mhm.
not going to like Dragon Ball Z because
No.
it's really immature, to be honest. It's super
Yeah.
immature and it's super dorky and it's funny. Like the fight scenes, I feel like are like the coolest parts about it that are more mature, like I guess. But everything else is so immature and
It's
so dorky.
goofy, bro. It's goofy.
It's goofy,
It's a
yeah.
children's
So it's
show.
like you tell that to some Dragon Ball Z fans and they're like, "What?" And I'm like, I mean, dude,
let's
what?
let's be
I'm
honest,
a
man.
DBZ
But
fan
like, it's
too,
not.
you know?
Yeah, yeah. There's there's something about Black Clover though that in like My Hero Academia and Black Clover, these newer animes and Demon Slayer, they all are getting right with their like pacing. I feel like their
Yeah, but I
pacing
still feel
and
like even ones like like My Hero. My Hero has a lot of really dorky and like goofy and
right,
childish
that
moments.
one is. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, I do still feel though like My Hero is a little more is a little less childish than DBZ. Um, but it's still I still find it like kind of like being cheesy at times and dorky and kind of like like little kid oriented, I guess. So I always like when I recommend anime to people, like to adults that want to start watching anime, I always recommend more serious ones. Like, for example, I always recommend like one of the first ones is Death Parade, which is a pretty serious one, and it's pretty fucking good, and it's super short too. You don't want to give someone new a super long fucking anime that they're gonna have to like commit to. Like I always try to be like, okay, good and short. So like Death Parade, Parasite, a longer one would be like Death Note. Like I feel like
Right.
those are good animes to start watching that won't make you feel like you're watching a kid show.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I need more of those because I have the perfect ones to suggest to people once they were like, "Oh, I did watch Dragon Ball growing up." Then I'm like, "Oh, then check out Bleach, check out Naruto." Like if they didn't like, those are easy to suggest,
Right.
if they already had a shonen, then you
Yeah, the
can suggest
classics.
other
Yeah.
shonen. Yeah. And that's the lane that I fell in. So with the working out. So do you were you always heavily into fitness?
Um, yes and no. I kind of so like I was really fat when I was in middle school, and I got made fun of a lot. Um, so I guess that kind of like pushed me to look better, and then pushing myself to look better taught me or educated me on fitness, and
Right.
then knowing more about fitness, and then learning about nutrition, that kind of gave me all this information to where I developed this passion for it out of nowhere, because I'm like, well, fuck, like I like learning about working out so that I can improve my body and get stronger. And then I also like reading about nutrition so that I know what I'm putting into my body and what it's doing to my body and how my body reacts to it. Whether it's burning fat, increasing my testosterone, um, you know, um bettering my protein synthesis, like stuff like that. So I guess you can say I'm into it. I'm just not like crazy about it how I would like to be, because I'm too busy being crazy about tattooing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, but I do try to make time, even though I haven't been in the last week and a half. The last 3 months, man, like
Oh
I'm recently
man.
single, so I've had like so much on my mind with like transitions that the last 3 months
Right.
have been like pretty shit for the gym. But before that, I was being really consistent, doing really good. But I'll get back to it, man.
Right. Yeah, man. You ever use anime as influence with the gym, or do you ever watch anime while you're doing cardio?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I haven't done cardio in so long, but when I did used to do cardio, I remember I was still watching Bleach. And like months ago, when I first started Bleach, which was like, I want to say 4, maybe 5 months ago, every
Oh,
time I would go
okay,
on the
cool.
Stairmaster, I'd pop on Bleach and just sit there and just watch it, while I'm on the Stairmaster. And even now, like, even when I tattoo, when I work out and tattoo, I listen to like Naruto anime lo-fi, or like trap music, or Demon Slayer trap, shit like that.
Dude, I
So
was listening to Naruto lo-fi on the way home last night, just from like visiting family at its house. Shit, I listened to it for like probably 45 minutes.
yo,
No,
that
I
shit is
feel you.
sick, bro. That shit is sick. I could have it playing all day long. I won't even get tired of it
Right?
at all.
Just
Yeah.
vibe out for a minute.
Hell yeah. Nah, but that shit, it's
But
motivational. I remember like sometimes I remember going on like some of like my heaviest sets of working out, whether I'm like doing dips or like I'm about to bench, like I'll put that rising strike song from Naruto, you
oh,
know?
yes,
Dum,
man.
dum, dum, dum,
Yes.
dum, 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 dum,
Mhm.
dum. Yeah, bro. I'll put that
Dude,
shit on and I'll be like, yeah, let's fucking do this.
right, man. You can't because that's awesome, man. I feel that because so the last 3 years I've lost in 2 years I lost 200 pounds. I used to be 420 pounds,
Oh wow.
and
Oh,
yeah,
congrats, man. Holy shit.
thanks. Thanks, man. And I did it with the help of anime, dude. I had a friend put me on Bleach and told me and I had this idea from because I used to watch Dragon Ball and I used to remember how it made me want to work out, but I was too lazy and stoned to
Right.
actually do it. So I was like, I'm gonna use this as like a thing that I only watch at the gym because I really liked the first episode. So I
Yeah.
made it like this thing that I only watched on the elliptical at first, and then only watched on the stairmaster, and then
Yeah.
I. I used it because I would do like when I was really trying to get the weight off, I would do like 45 minutes of cardio, then go work out.
Right.
Now it's just an episode of anime every time I go to the gym. I just throw it on for one episode of whatever. But it is so crazy how you can use that as fuel whenever
As
you
fuel.
like if you
Yeah.
just like in your zone and your headphones, man, and then you go from watching it to then go into working out. It's such a empowerment, man. Or if you just watch it in general and you think about it when you're at the gym, I really like I can really like thank anime for all that shit because like those characters helped me through that shit. And I also it just instills it really you can't distract yourself with anything when you're at the gym and you're watching it, or in
For sure,
certain
yeah.
situations when you can't. Yeah, and when you do that and you isolate, like being able to like check your phone or anything, and you really isolate watching it, it becomes like what you're thinking about while you're doing things. Like, you're thinking about, like, I love being on the Stairmaster and watching Black Clover and watching Asta like put all that power into like a charge. Like, he's like launching at an enemy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, I just really, it's cool because not many people like utilize it in that way, but it really can be. It can be motivation.
Yeah, I agree 100% for sure.
So, have you gone to any anime conventions?
Yeah, I've been to a couple. The last one I went to was one in Miami called Otaku Fest, and that was pretty cool. It was fun. Got bored of it real quick. I got like a weekend pass, and I ended up going for like one day because I was
Yeah.
just like, okay. I walked around and fucking saw people, took pictures, bought a couple things, and I went dressed as All Might. I got a what's it called? Just Saying gear, little suit, and I went dressed as All Might.
Nice.
And I carried
Nice.
around a huge Pikachu that was like this massive, like Pikachu balloon that I just stuck a piece of paper to it, and it said "at Crush Captain Tattoo" because I was like, how the fuck do I market myself? And I was like, let's get this 5 foot Pikachu in the air, you know?
Literally walking around with like a blimp advertising yourself, like a mini
Oh
blimp.
yeah. Did you not see the pictures? The pictures. I posted the
I
pictures
did,
on my
I did.
story.
I remember. I just I just didn't remember that it said your name. I thought it was just a
Yeah.
Pikachu. So now that I know it was like advertising you, that makes it so much better.
Yeah,
That's
man.
great,
Yeah,
man.
I was like, man, I really like. I want to walk around and like, I want to draw attention, like for business wise, and a bunch of people started following me because of that shit. They're like, "Yo, you're the guy with the huge Pikachu," and I'm like, "Yeah."
That's
So,
great.
and it was cool too, man. Like, I went there and there were like, I guess, followers of mine there, and they're like, dude, we love your work. Like, you're cool as fuck. Your art's amazing. Keep doing what you do. I love what you do with colors. I love your anime. Like that stuff felt pretty good, man. Pretty damn good. It was
Yeah, to
awesome.
be like recognized for your tattooing at a place where you're going as like, you're going as you're cosplaying, but like you're like going as a fan as well. Like you're there to
Right.
like see an anime convention, but like they're also there like they may have went because you were there, but like they're also like there as fans too. It's just so
Right.
it's cool that like they're fans of what you're fans of, but they're also fans of you. So like that's cool, man. That's gotta be a great feeling.
Yeah, man. And I think that's one of the reasons why I was able to become more successful in this market of tattooing. It's because you know I'm like revolved by anime. Like I'm surrounded by anime. I mean, like my whole life revolves around like fucking anime. Like my pillowcases fucking anime.
Bro,
You
oh, that's
know
a
what I
really
mean?
cool
Like
pillow, though. Hey,
fucking
is
like
that is that Amazon, bro? I need that pillow. Oh my
bro,
god.
I got that from a store called Halo 13 in California. Yeah,
Oh,
they sell a bunch
dude,
of anime shit. But
man.
but yeah, man, I mean just like everything around me is just like anime. So it's like
Right.
how could I not be successful in something that I have a passion and work hard toward,
It's just
So
so cool to find that lane. And I don't know how long ago you were at there was an anime tattoo like expo thing.
yeah,
Wasn't that,
Anime
am I right?
Inc. Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole convention for specifically like this lane, this niche that
Yeah.
you found, and it's such a
Yeah.
diehard. Like even people that don't have tattoos love following anime tattoo artists to see
Yeah, for
like
sure.
the way you do art, and it's just
Yeah. Because there's
it's
people that love
such.
anime that won't get anime tattooed or just won't get tattooed, period. But they fucking love watching their favorite anime characters be on somebody's fucking skin,
They're like,
like
that's crazy.
right,
Seeing like you love that. Like, I love that. I love seeing like people like seeing what other people's favorite thing is, or seeing what's that important to someone that they get blasted on their whole fucking forearm or whole
right,
bicep.
exactly. Like I meet people out in the street all the time they'll stop me and they'll be like, "Yo, are you Crush Captain?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Dude, I love your fucking tattoos, man. Like your shit is fucking dope. If I were to get tattoos, I would totally come to you, but I fucking love it." And I'm just like, "Damn, like these guys are like so hardcore like loving my shit, but they don't have tattoos and like they wouldn't even get tattoos, but if they did, they would get it by me. That's cool as fuck." You know?
Right, right. That's awesome, man. You got all like it's that lane is just it's not just it's cool that that lane of people that like tattoos is not just people exclusive to people that have tattoos.
Right,
But
exactly.
so what characters did you do you have any anime tattoos currently?
I have a few Pokemon tattoos. I got a Vegeta and a Kid Buu, a Majin Vegeta and a Kid Buu, and then I have Elizabeth from Seven Deadly Sins, and I think that's about
Nice.
it. I think I only have three different kind of anime on me. I don't even have a Naruto tattoo, and that's fucked up.
Oh man, yeah. I really want a Jiraiya and Chief Toad tattoo. I think that'd be the ultimate Naruto
Yeah,
tattoo to me.
yeah.
I
I've done
those
one. I've done one that I'm actually gonna finish it pretty soon, sometime this later this month.
nice. What Naruto tattoo would you get if you were to get a Naruto tattoo? Or
Uh
character at least.
I was talking to my boy Mike about doing a Jiraiya on me. Um,
Oh,
but yeah, I think I would honestly get like Jiraiya or Naruto, like or both, because I feel like those are like my two favorite characters is Jiraiya and Naruto. Like
right.
I relate to them the most out of like any other characters, you know?
No, I feel you. That's me wholeheartedly, man. Like I hate to, whenever people ask me who do I love in Naruto the most, because that's why I like to ask people like who they like what characters they relate to in anime a lot. And I I hate to be like the goof, but like I've Naruto is the like
Yeah.
that is Naruto and Choji. I really like Choji. If Boruto Choji didn't exist, if he didn't get fat again, Choji would be like, he'd be my soul. But it's Naruto for the way he evolves, man. The way his character develops at the end is just he makes you want to be a good person, man. It's
Sure.
so
Yeah.
it's awesome.
And
And
I think the writers did that on purpose, you know, because it's like they want the main character to be someone that a lot of people can relate to, and
right.
you know he has such a crazy story and like how he just like went from being this one person to a completely different person and
Knucklehead ninja to the eighth
to the
Hokage. I
Hokage, you
mean,
know, like that. It's a
yeah,
story, you know. So
yeah. So, is Vegeta your favorite from Dragon Ball then?
no, I say
Because you got
Vegeta used to
Majin
be my
Vegeta.
favorite when I was younger because you know everybody fucking just loves Vegeta because he's like fuck you, you know, and whatever. I think now Goku's my favorite one. Like
Yeah,
I'm definitely Team Goku, and I mean I was even just saying this yesterday. I don't really think I have a favorite Dragon Ball Z character because I feel like you know at least for like my understanding there hasn't been an anime that has been so well developed like Naruto with the depth of characters that they give every single fucking character to where like you
yes,
literally get to know this character like the in and outs of like this character to the T to the core. You get to know like every single main character, like even some side characters get crazy amount of depth, you know, so like you really
absolutely.
know who's your favorite based off of so many different things. Vegeta, Goku, Trunks, Piccolo, Tien, Yamcha, like all these motherfuckers, like okay, they just fight all the fucking time.
Yeah,
Like there's
what's their
no
motive? What's their motive? There's who do you think looks cooler, really? I guess
right, like
that
it's like who
becomes.
looks
I feel
cooler, you
you. I
know,
feel
like who
you.
powers up cooler, whose muscles get bigger when
Who's a
they turn
little
Super
more
Saiyan. You know what I
badass?
mean? Like that. I feel like
Right.
that's what it comes down to as far as like favorite Dragon Ball Z character. You know what I mean? But that's why it's hard for me to choose because like I also don't like how
I
stupid naive Goku is. you know. But I also hate how like Vegeta is kind of like a fucking arrogant prick all the fucking
I
time.
really don't like. Yeah, there's only one. Like I kind of like Piccolo. I guess he's probably the best.
Yeah,
That's he's probably the only character who's a little well rounded now because, but not initially because he was a villain. But you know,
yeah,
like he has some depth because he used to be a bad guy. I guess.
yeah, yeah, pretty much.
But so, have you done any JoJo's tattoos?
No, I started watching JoJo and I never finished. Past like season 1. I got like halfway through season 1 and I stopped watching it. I need to continue watching it because there's such a huge niche for that, and so many people hit me up for it, and I'm like, I haven't seen it yet. I turn down tattoos all the time of like shit that I haven't watched. Sometimes I'll take certain things on, like I'll take a couple like if somebody hits me up for One Piece tattoos, I usually will say yeah, only because I have friends that are like into One Piece that I can be like, yo, what should I do with this and blah blah blah. But other than that, man, I really don't like tattooing anime that I haven't seen, you know?
Right. No, that makes sense. That's because you really like to probably like associate the art with it, like see how it's drawn in different ways, you know, and how you would put it on a person's body. You have to really see it from all the different angles. You can't just look it up in Google Images real quick and like, oh, okay, I get it.
Right. That and like just even with like DBZ, I've done so much DBZ and I've, you know, kind of fed myself so much DBZ art that now I'm pretty much doing any character and I feel so much more comfortable tattooing them because I know what they're like I know, you know, what their clothing is like, what their eye color is like, what their hair is like, etc., etc. You know, like I'm a lot more familiar with the art of Dragon Ball Z and then secondly with Naruto, that I feel like that's why I excel at those the most out of all the other animes that I tattoo.
Right. Yeah, the way you really capture the different like lighting that the and like depth of color that the hair transformations have in Dragon Ball, like on the like Super Saiyan God or the Vegeta Super Saiyan like blue. Like, didn't you do one where there with the like Vegeta that was the darker blue whenever he did that one when he
went
he did
ultra
like
blue?
Ascended. Yeah, that one. Did you do one of that one? Yeah, I remember the way you like made that color, like the way it made it looked so shocking when you watched it in the anime, and it looked just like that same depth, but in a tattoo. I thought that one was one of your like coolest Dragon Ball ones yet.
Thanks, man. Yeah, definitely. I think that tattoo set a bar of standard for me back then. At that point, a lot of people were like, you know, like, fuck, man, like this is the one, and you know, I feel like I had a good streak while I was up there.
You
And
can't
every time
say
I go
that
up
this
there,
is
like,
the
I
one
always
about
have,
any
like,
of
a
yours
good
now,
streak.
man.
What?
You said, I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's that you can't say this is the one about any of yours now because like everyone's like I for real, like there's like 4 dudes in my phone that I'm saying like every one of these. I'm like, because we watch all of these animes too. Like
That's sick.
we keep talk about it, man. Are there any tattoos you're looking forward to in the near future that you can share like at least a character for or something?
Yeah,
you, like,
so tomorrow I'm doing Naruto Kurama mode. So like the Sage of Six Path mode. So I'm really excited about that. I get really excited every time I get to do Kurama mode Naruto or even just Kurama and Kurama mode. Dude, because like I don't know, man, it's just like working with those colors is just so much fun because it's not all about packing black everywhere and making sure your lines are black as fuck. It's like with this, I can either do brown lines or red lines and just make sure everything inside is like yellow and kind of do some colors in the background and bada bing, bada boom, I'm good. So that's always a lot of fun to do. But tomorrow he's doing a Rasengan as well. So that's gonna be pretty cool too because I get to incorporate some blues in there.
Right.
And then, dude, I fucking suck at remembering what I got. going on in my agenda.
All
That's why I
good.
had to get like an assistant. Like, yo, what am I tattooing tomorrow? You know?
Right. So, are there any shows that you're so do by the way, back to JoJo's real quick. That's the one I've been watching at the gym lately because those dudes are all just
jacked
huge
as
as
fuck.
fuck. They're all huge, and it's just kind of like after a while you're like, okay, I kind of let's do chest day again. Okay,
Yeah, right, yeah.
shoulders again.
Chest is looking a little weak.
I want them JoJo shoulders, bro, for real.
Yeah.
But I'm on like season 3 of that. I've just been watching that one a lot lately. That one, I think you totally will get into it if you give it the chance again. That one gets ridiculous and badass, but you're like, how is it this badass and ridiculous? Kind of like My Hero, though. I mean, My Hero gets ridiculous too,
Yeah.
but it still remains badass. So I gotta get to work. Hate to cut it short, man, but wanted to at least get to talk to you. If you ever want to do this again with me, if you guys like this episode, you let us know in the comments, and maybe we can do this again sometime. Appreciate having you on, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you having me. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm down for whatever, man.